U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights.
By Valeria Martinez,
Joanna Gomez,
Sydney Silvera,
And Sofia Rosas.
Throughout these slides, you will learn about the Articles of Confederation, the preamble of the Constitution, our three branches of government, including the legislative branch, with information on the House of Representatives and Senate, the executive branch, and the judicial branch. You'll also learn about how a bill becomes a law, checks and balances, the New Jersey and Virginia plans, the Three-Fifths Compromise, the Electoral College, amending the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights.
The Articles of Confederation. When the Constitutional Congress was formed, the members soon realized that a form of government needed to be put into action for the country. On November 15, 1777, the Articles of Confederation became the first Constitution of the United States and was ratified on March 1, 1781. The Articles gave the states more power than Congress, which eventually showed to be a big problem. There was no central government, no national court system, and no central leader. People broke out into protests and rebelled this way and that. When Daniel Shays began his rebellion, now known as the Shays Rebellion, he gathered farmers together and sought after the judges that ordered them to sell their land. This caused Congress to call a convention to change the Articles of Confederation in May of 1787. The Preamble. The preamble is the statement in the Constitution that says, "We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America." The meaning of the preamble is to establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, promote the general welfare, secure blessings of liberty to ourselves and our future generations, and ordain and establish the Constitution of the United States.
The three branches of government include the legislative branch, which makes the laws, the executive branch, which carries out the laws, and the judicial branch, which interprets the laws. The legislative branch of government makes the laws. It consists of two houses, the Senate and the House of Representatives. The two houses make up the Congress. The House of Representatives is made of 435 members. The amount of representatives from each state depends on the state's population. The House of Representatives has some powers that are solely reserved for it, including the power to elect the president in the event of a tie. To be a member of the House of Representatives, you must be 25 years of age or older, must be a citizen of at least 7 years, and must be a resident of the state you represent. The Senate is made of 100 members. There are 2 members per state who are elected 6-year terms. The Senate oversees the federal government branches. To be a member of the Senate, you must be at least 30 years of age or older, must be a citizen of at least 9 years, and must be a resident of the state you represent. The executive branch of government carries out the laws. People who work in the executive branch include the president, vice president, and cabinet. The president oversees all commands for the army and enforces all laws made by Congress. The vice president stays ready to take over if the president does not fulfill his duties. The judicial branch of government interprets all of the laws. The members of this branch are elected by the president, then confirmed by the Senate. Judges can only be removed by impeachment. Judges and justices serve for no amount of certain years, only until death, retirement, or conviction by the Senate. Under the judicial branch, all those who are accused of a crime are allowed a fair trial. The amendments of the Constitution provide protection over those who were accused.
Any law starts off as a bill. A bill is a proposed law. Before it becomes a law, a bill must be approved by either the House of Representatives or Senate. After it's approved by one of the houses, it goes to the next house to be approved. If both houses approve the bill, it goes to the president. If the president signs it, it becomes a law. The president can veto or reject the law. Congress can pass a bill over the president's objections. This requires a 2/3 majority vote to pass the law in both houses.
Checks and balances. Checks and balances is the system that allows each branch of government to limit the powers of the other branches. Checks make it so that one branch is allowed to block the actions of another branch. Balances allow each branch to have a part and power of the other branches. Even though the Supreme Court can say laws are unconstitutional, the President and the Senate must approve it. Checks and balances are there to make sure no branch is too powerful.
The Virginia Plan called for a strong national government with three branches: a legislative branch that would make the laws, an executive branch that would carry out the laws, and a judicial branch that would apply and accept the laws. It would be made up of two houses, the House of Representatives and the Senate. Like the Virginia Plan, the New Jersey Plan called for a government with three branches. However, the legislative branch would have one house, not two. Each state would have an equal vote in Congress.
The Three-Fifths Compromise. Madison came up with a compromise between the New Jersey and Virginia plans that counted a slave as 3/5 of a person when determining population. Madison's proposition was passed and became known as the Three-Fifths Compromise. This compromise went against a statement in the Declaration of Independence that stated, "All men are created equal." But if the slaves fled, they had to go back to their owners, even if they were in a free state. However, without these compromises, the states may have never come together in a single union. Electoral College. The framers said that Congress and the people shouldn't choose the president and vice president. Instead of Congress and the people choosing, a group called the Electoral College chooses the government's leaders. The Electoral College is made up of electors who cast votes to choose the president and vice president every 4 years. The Electoral College still influences the presidential election today.
One way in which the Constitution is amended is when an amendment is proposed by a 2/3 vote of each House of Congress. Then the amendment is ratified by 3/4 of state legislators and of the state conventions. Another way for the Constitution to be amended is when an amendment is proposed by a national government called by Congress at the request of 2/3 of state legislators. Then the amendment is ratified by 3/4 of state legislators and of the state convention.
The Bill of Rights is the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. The First Amendment allows us a freedom of speech, religion, press, the ability to assemble, and the ability to petition. Many people call them the 5 basic freedoms in the Constitution. The Second Amendment is the right to bear arms. It is said that the Second Amendment protects the rights of individuals to own weapons for their own self-defense.
The Third Amendment states that soldiers should not be quartered in people's homes. It serves as a warning to the government to respect people's privacy. The Fourth Amendment protects people from unreasonable searches and seizures by the government.
The Fifth Amendment is for legal rights. First, it gives people who are accused of major crimes the right to a grand jury, a group of citizens who hear the government's evidence and decides if it justifies a trial hearing. Second, it protects citizens from being tried for the same crime twice. Third, police can't force people to say things that may use against them in a trial. Fourth, a person can't be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Fifth, the government can't take someone's private property for use without just compensation. The Sixth Amendment is for criminal trial rights. First, it gives the right to not have people be in jail for a long time before being judged at a trial. Second, citizens have the right to attend trials to make sure that justice is being done. Third, an accused person has the right to be judged by a jury of people who live in their area. Fourth, the prosecutor must tell the accused person the charge and the time and place of the crime before the trial. Fifth, the defendant has the right to an attorney to assist their defense and hear and question all witnesses who testify at the trial. The Seventh Amendment lets people involved in a civil case have a right to a jury trial and has no fact tried by jury be re-examined.
The Eighth Amendment means prohibiting the federal government from imposing excessive bail, excessive fines, or cruel and unusual punishments, including torture.
The Ninth Amendment says that even though certain rights are listed in the Constitution, other rights not listed are still retained by the people. The 10th Amendment says that power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people.
Throughout these slides, you learned about the Articles of Confederation, the preamble of the Constitution, our 3 branches of government, including the legislative branch, with information on the House of Representatives and Senate, the executive branch, and the judicial branch. You also learned about how a bill becomes a law, checks and balances, the New Jersey and Virginia plans, the Three-Fifths Compromise, the Electoral College, amending the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights.